Hello, listeners. Welcome to the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon podcast. Today I'm at a special place. I'm at the Malaysia Competition Commission, and I have the CEO here with me as well. And if you've been listening, I've been talking to business leaders across Asia, from Malaysia to Singapore to Vietnam. And today is a very special episode where I want to talk to MyCC. So for those who don't know, I want to do a quick introduction about MyCC. So MyCC, MYCC, is the Malaysia Competition Commission. It is an independent body that was established under the Competition Commission Act 2010 to enforce the Competition Act 2010 as well. So later we'll dive into it. I want to say hi to Iskandar. Welcome to the show.
Hi Bob. How are you?
I'm good. So thanks for letting us do this.
Yes.
And so for all our guests, right, the first question I'd like to ask is a very funny question.
Yeah.
Is what is your favorite Kung Fu movie?
Oh, okay. I got a few, but the main one for now is Karate Kid, the latest version. That was the main actor was Jackie Chan, and the boy was Jaden Smith, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah, that was quite a refreshing take of how it should be, you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you know Jaden Smith grew up already?
Yeah.
So,
but I watched that movie more than 5 times already.
What?
Yeah. Because it has a lot of lessons, given at the same time in that movie. You know, it's not just about the boy; it's about Jackie Chan also, the master. You know how he suffered because of the accident of his family. He lost his wife and son, and then when he built up the car again, and then he destroyed it again and over again,
Yeah. That's great. None of my guests have said the Karate Kid, and for the listeners, the Karate Kid has many. It has the 80s, 90s one, and then this one is the 2010s one. When Jaden Smith was still young, and like what you said, the Jackie Chan is amazing in that movie. It has this Eastern culture thing where we respect the master. We get a bit abused by the master, but in the end we learn Kung Fu as well. And another one I want to ask you is, now we are in December, almost Christmas. Have you watched Willy Wonka?
Oh, not yet. I'm going to soon. I would like to watch it in the cinema because Willy Wonka, in the previous movie, the first movie, it has a lot of colors, right? Yeah, and then there's a lot of singing inside it, inside the movie. So I think I should watch in the cinema.
Yeah, I just watched it like a few days ago. I think the whole MyCC team must go and watch this movie.
Why?
Must go because it is about how Willy Wonka started the chocolate factory. And then if you watch the trailer, you will also know that the bad guys in Willy Wonka is actually the chocolate cartel.
So not the boy anymore, huh? The boy who ate too much.
They want to start the factory only.
I see.
So the new cannot have a new new participant in the
I
competition.
see.
So the cartel do a lot of things, hide the chocolate, corruption. And then the story is how he managed to fight the cartel.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that would be interesting.
Yeah, very good. I love it. Watch in IMAX.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Let us watch together, yeah?
Not sponsored, but it's related to today's topic. So that's why I bring it up. Right?
Okay, that's good.
So my first question, getting to the serious topic here, is what is MyCC? Of course, everyone asks, and I've been here a few times. Then I start to understand more what is MyCC. And it was said that it is established under the Competition Commission Act. You can also tell us a bit more about that. So maybe you can start us off and tell us what is MyCC.
Okay, MyCC, as you have mentioned earlier, is an independent body, an agency under the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Cost of Living. Okay, we are not just an independent body just like that. We are also at the same time an enforcement body. We are a regulator at the same time, and our third main role is we have to act as a quasi-judicial body. So 3 in 1. Basically, we are all-rounder. Okay, so now MyCC was created in April 2011. So by now we are already 12 years old. Yeah. So we are quite young agency compared to others like Securities Commission, Bank Negara, and others. But our power centered around the issue of competition. Yeah. So the main role of MyCC is to protect the process of competition. Okay. How do we protect the process of competition? Let's say, if you like to watch the Olympic, especially the 100 meters final, everybody is lining up, at the start, and then, so basically they compete with each other, right, to be the fastest man in the world. So when it starts, so you can see that they really compete with each other. Okay, that's what we want. We want the enterprises in the market to compete with each other in a true sense, yeah, so that they be the best. Okay, so because when we protect the process of competition, there will be two groups that will benefit from that. Okay, the first one is us, the consumer.
Okay.
You and me, we are consumer. We go to a hypermarket, we buy milk, we buy rice, and others, right? So if the process of competition is protected, okay, you will get three things. Okay, the first one is choices. Okay, just imagine when you enter a hypermarket, okay, if you see you want to buy coffee, right, and then you only see Nescafe, how do you feel? There's no choice. There's only one choice. You will feel angry, right? Okay, if there is many types of coffee like kopi hang tua, kopi kapal, Nescafe, kopi muar, kopi tenom, all these local brands, at least you can make your choices, right? Whether it's expensive or not is up to your budget. Okay, the second one is quality. Yeah, so when there is competition, the producer will aim for to produce a quality product so that they can entice you to buy their products. Okay? And then the third one, when you have choices, when you have quality, yeah, in your product or services, okay, then you will have competitive pricing, because they will compete each other in terms of pricing. Yeah, sometimes you will see suddenly that this coffee will sell at 5 ringgit per 100 gram, and then the other one will sell about 4.50 per 100 gram, and then the third one will sell about 7.50. So it's up to you. So you see, so if these three elements are there at any time in the market, okay, the consumer will be very happy. They will be willing to take out their money and pay for the product or services. Okay, so the second group will be the enterprises or the industry player, yeah, who produce the product and services. So when they really compete with each other, they will innovate always. They will create new things because they know that, okay, they can't sell the same old thing over and over again for many years. So people want new things, right? So they will innovate. Okay, then it will benefit and give choices to the consumer, right? And then the second thing is that they will continue their entrepreneurship. Yeah, it will push them to be better in that sense. You see, because being an entrepreneur and a retailer is different. Different thing altogether. So entrepreneur is like you have to work continuously towards your goal and achieve the objective that you have set along the line of the demands of the market and whatnot. The third one is that they will become more efficient, because it's important for the entrepreneur or the enterprises to be efficient, because through efficiency they can cut their costs. When they cut their costs, they can earn more. You see? So if these two groups are happy, okay, this consumer, they fork out their money to buy goods, and then the money will go to the enterprises, and then the enterprises will innovate always, and then will become more efficient, and then in return they will pay tax to the government, they will hire people, they give salary, to certain groups that work for them, and then the circle, the ecosystem will be smooth.
Well, that's very insightful. I like those examples as well. So when I do interviews, I like to say this lah. Maybe I will ask you for some examples. So now it's been around for 13 years.
Yeah.
And maybe you can share some examples in a way. So I always like to use this analogy. If you like to explain to the makcik kari puff, how would you explain it? And maybe give us some example also.
Yeah. So if I go to the makcik kari puff, or kari puff, okay, in English, at the stall next to the road, right? Then I will tell, makcik or auntie, why don't you, not only sell curry puff, can also sell other delicacies at the same time. Maybe bread, maybe chocolate at the same time. So it will attract different group of consumers. So you give choices to the consumers. So you will get more money from your sales, because as you know, not everybody wants to eat curry puff at that time. Maybe some of them, they love to eat chocolate for their breakfast. You never know. Yeah. So when you have different varieties of goods being sold at your stall, and then people will flock your stall, and then at the same time you give competitive pricing. You see, maybe your chocolate is much more cheaper than Godiva in Mid Valley, right? Yeah. And people will flock. It's still chocolate, right? It's just the taste may be different. Maybe her chocolate can be as good as Godiva. You never know. Yeah, because of course she will have to compete with Godiva in some way. You see, because people, Godiva is the one, but Godiva is very expensive. So they go for this makcik's chocolate, and then they say, this is as good as Godiva, and then they pay half of the price. You see, so and then in return, you will push the makcik. I must create something more, so that I can get as many customers as I can. So she will create another thing, maybe nasi lemak, right? Yeah, nasi lemak, our favorite food, right? So and then she will create another thing like nasi goreng, fried rice, like Uncle Roger love, yeah, and then maybe other things, and then she will grow and become an entrepreneur, not just a seller at the side of the road.
Yeah, I like nasi lemak also. I also like curry puff. But I think to your point, right? So for MyCC's role is you are helping the makcik curry puff become better entrepreneur, and also you are helping the consumer have more choices and better quality of curry puff, better quality of chocolate, and everything as well.
You see, the sellers, maybe the next sellers to the makcik, okay, when they see, everybody is going to that makcik stall, and then because they want to say, I want some of their customer also, so they will create something new also. They will compete. So that's how you see the objective of Competition Act, is actually to help the small and medium enterprises, including the micro enterprises. You see. Because if they really compete with each other, they will only improve themselves. We are just the facilitator. We just tell them, okay, please compete with each other. Don't form a cartel. Don't work together. So that you can manipulate the consumer. No. If you work independently through your true strength, I think you can, you can deliver and what do you call that? Go through all these challenges.
Okay. I think I hope the Makcik Karipap understand now. And then
Hopefully.
yes. So the next one is we mentioned a lot of times in the beginning of this interview the Competition Act 2010. So maybe briefly tell us what is inside that act.
Okay, the act is based on economic principles. Yeah. So a lawyer, when they want to practice competition law areas, in the competition law areas, they should appreciate the principle of, they should understand the principle of economics, because we are just enforcing the principle of economics. Yeah, the basic one is that the enterprises or the industrial players must compete with each other in their sector. That's all. Yeah. So there are three main components of competition law. Okay, the first one is prohibition of cartel. The second one is the prohibition of abuse of dominant position or monopoly position. The third one is merger control regime. So these three is like, like your camera stand. It's like that. It must have these three, stand to hold that camera. Without one, it will fall down, right? So that's how I want to explain what is competition law. So the first one, prohibition of cartel, is like, to us, cartel is the supreme evil under competition law. That's the main culprit. Because when everybody, let's say all the e-commerce player in Malaysia or in Southeast Asia, okay, because it's a borderless economy, right? They gang up together and they fix all their prices together. You see, how are we going to benefit? You see, the consumers. You go to Thailand, the price of mango is 5 ringgit. You go to Malaysia, it's 5 ringgit. You go to Indonesia, 5 ringgit. How do you feel? Yeah? So, that is, we are also akin it to daylight robbery. You know, when you go to a hypermarket, let's say you have a budget, right? Yeah, and then you have a list. And then, let's say you have 10 things, okay? And then you put 100 ringgit in your pocket. Because that is your budget according to the list, right? So when you go, and then because there is a cartel, let's say among hypermarkets, you have to get the 10 things for 150 ringgit. So what happened? You will buy maybe 5 only. But yet you have to pay 100 ringgit. So how do you feel? So basically, if let's say, if they are not, they do not form a cartel, okay, basically you can get 5 products at 50 ringgit. So basically, they are taking away your 50 ringgit. So that's why I say daylight robbery, right? So it really abuses the rights of the consumer. The consumer will suffer. And because of that, the consumer will refuse to spend their money. Because it's too expensive. How can they afford? Before this, they can buy two pieces of chicken. But now, because of the cartel, they can only buy 1. And they have 5 kids. So how can they live with 1 piece of chicken? You see? So that is the, what do you call that, the true face of a cartel. It really burdened the people. Okay, that's why most of our cases are against cartel in Malaysia. Okay, the second one is prohibition of a monopoly, abuse by a monopoly or a dominant players. A dominant player, usually how we deem them to be a dominant player if they control 60% of the market. Let's say we take, for example, steel. Okay, let's say one company, A company, they control 60% of the market in Malaysia, steel market. So they are considered dominant. If they control 100%, they are called a monopoly. That's a difference. If there are 2 players only controlling the market of steel, we call it duopoly. Okay. So anyhow, So it's okay in Malaysia. Okay, they have to understand. Okay, because Malaysian market is very small. To find a champion in a sector, in a in a big sector such as steel, such as cement, maybe the main products. Okay, is requires big capital. So usually big players will enter. You see, and then suddenly because of their efficiency and whatnot, they became bigger and bigger and bigger. And suddenly they monopolize the whole market. Okay? So it's not wrong. Be as big as you want. We don't care. But if, let's say, a new company wants to enter your market, become your competitor, and when you abuse your position by foreclosing the market, then we will investigate you. We will take action against you. That's what happened in few cases of our cases. You see? So, if someone wants to create competition against you, don't stop them. Let them grow. You grow on your own strength. Let them grow on their own strength. If they are not efficient, they will exit the market. So what's your problem? You see? Why you have to, bully that small company or the new entrants? Yeah, because that's the thing. So we are the regulator of competition in Malaysia. We want to see competition if possible. But to find an equal and efficient competitor to a monopoly or dominant position, dominant player, it's not easy. Yeah? You require big capital. You see, because they are already big, right? Maybe their annual budget is 5 billion ringgit per year. So whether you like it or not, if you want to enter the market, you must have the same money as them to compete. If you come with 1 billion, how can you compete with 5 billion company or 50 billion company? So that's why there must be an equal and efficient competitor. But it's our job to protect the new entrant. Okay. So the third one is merger control regime. Okay. Merger control regime is, okay, we want to control people who want to merge with each other. When they merge, they become bigger, right? So they become stronger. So, but we have to monitor that, because once they merge, they will dominate the market. They will monopolize the market. We don't want that. We want competition. If we let them, at their own will, without our supervision at all, they merge just like that, then suddenly there will be less and less player in Malaysia. And then the Malaysian market will be controlled by the dominant players and monopolies maybe. So we don't want that, right? What happened to the makcik karipap? Okay, what will happen to the makcik nasi lemak? Okay, when there is a bigger, nasi lemak player in Malaysia that can sell 50 cents. That makcik, because he's a micro player, they can only sell at 150. How can they compete with a bigger player? So we have to take care of the small player. That's why I told you earlier, Competition Act is to protect the micro, small and medium enterprises. So those are the three things.
Okay, I learned so much just from that question just now. So I learned so much.
So I can give you pop quiz after this, huh?
Yeah, that's a very detailed explanation of the Competition Act 2010.
Yeah.
And next question. So we talked about the act already.
Yeah.
Okay, my next question is on the enforcement. So now you said there's an act, you take care of the micro entrepreneurs and businesses. So how do you enforce?
Yeah, we investigate if there's a complaint. We investigate, and then we will go to the players, to the consumers. We take their statements. We do the usual investigation like the police. We carry out down raids, and then we issue decision. Okay, the thing is, remember I told you just now, we are quasi judicial body at the same time. So usually, if you go, you look at the other authorities in Malaysia, the police, let's say, for instance, okay, if they investigate a murder case, right? So when they complete their investigation, they will pass to the prosecutor office, right? And then the prosecutor office will prosecute the accused. yeah, and then the judge will decide. So there are three bodies: the police, the prosecutor, and the judge. But for us, we do everything under one roof. So we investigate, we decide, we enforce. That is a quasi-judicial body. You see, so that's how we take action. That's how we protect the consumers. So once they are found infringing the law, we will penalize them by taking away their money. Business people, when we take away their money, that's that's the hardest part for them. You see.
So what are some of the sort of punishments that they have?
The financial penalty, the imposition of financial penalty not more than 10% of their worldwide turnover. Let's say they earn 1 billion per year and then they commit that infringement for 1 year. So we take away 100 million only.
Wow.
100 million only, not much. They still got 900 million what?
Okay. Next we will get into a few cases.
Yeah.
All right, just now we talked about the company with dominant position. You said some company who control almost the whole market or 60%, and we also talked about having a monopoly, right? So what are the cases? I think there's some latest cases when it comes to this.
Recently on Monday we got good news. We issued this decision against this monopoly of this custom information system. They abuse their power. So they appeal against our decision, and the Competition Appeal Tribunal told them that our decision is right. So they have to pay 10.3 million as the financial penalty. So we are so happy. Before that, we have a case against MyCC's. We won also. They went through the appeals processes. We won. And they had to pay 9.6 million. Yeah.
So most of our audience will know what is MyCC's. We do tax, we do the license. So what happened with MyCC's?
MyCC's, you see, when you want, they have the monopoly of the renewal of foreign workers visa. So when they want to renew the foreign workers visa, especially the foreign employee or the foreign employer, okay, when they want to renew, they have to pay. They have to buy certain insurance products. So before that, before MyCC's was given the task by the government, everybody can buy from any insurance company. So when MyCC's took over that process, the registration for the renewal, they made it mandatory to buy it from RHB Insurance only. So people got angry. So they complained to us. So we investigated. Yes, it's true. So they abused their position.
And then they got fined.
They got fined 9.6 million. They paid already.
Okay. Well, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And then the next one, while doing research for today's interview, I also saw something in the news about 7 companies.
Yeah.
And then something to do with MindDev. Maybe you can share more about that also.
Okay. On Tuesday, the next day after we received the good news of the appeal by DagangNet, which they lost, we issue a proposed decision. So after investigation, we complete the investigation. If there's strong evidence of infringement, we issue a proposed decision first. So it's a big rigging case. So it's about procurement of goods and services for Ministry of Defence, or MINDEF we call it. Okay. So the 7 bidders, they colluded with each other to rig the bid. So they try to eliminate the competition process in the tender itself. So they work together so that they create an illusion there is a competition. In fact, they didn't. They fill up the tender form together. They set the price together. You see, they were supposed to do it independently, but they didn't. Yeah. So we issue a proposed decision. So they have to present their defence through a representation. Then after that, we only finalise our decision. So we expected it to be the final decision to come out next year, early next year.
So basically, it's these 7 companies for bidding for MindDev project.
MINDEF, yeah.
MINDEF project, and then they gang together lah. They
Yeah.
start, so to create an illusion of competition.
Yeah.
And that's why they are investigated.
Yeah. Because the tender is the objective of a tender is to choose amongst them, the bidders, the best company with the best product at the most competitive pricing, at the best competitive price lah. So you want to choose the best among the best, right? But actually they work together to create the best for us. Cannot lah. You see? It's wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong.
But they still have time. It's only a proposed decision, so they can still present their defense. If we accept their defense, then they are not guilty lah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Look forward to the updates on that. And we can talk about it maybe in the future also. So today actually there's an exclusive. So when I was talking to your team, you said this is something that we also will hear about. So it's something about chicken feet. Feet is FEED feet.
Not the feet,
Not the kaki. All right. So chicken feet. So maybe tell us why chicken feet and why is it important first.
Okay. You see, to grow a chicken, okay, you have to feed the chicken, right? Okay. If you know the nature of the chicken, they won't stop eating, right? Okay, chicken. You throw anything, they will go and eat that. You see? You throw rice, you throw corns, they will go for it. Okay, but you know, in Malaysia, the broiler industry, they have certain special food for their chicken so that the chicken can grow within stipulated time. So, when we calculate the cost of rearing one chicken, okay, let's say RM1 per chicken, you will spend around 70 to 75 cents out of that RM1 on the chicken feed alone. That's how important is chicken feed. It's true also with human beings. We need to eat, right? Yeah. So every day we spend around, nowadays RM30. Last time my time was RM10 per day. 20, 30 years ago. RM10 is enough. But because of inflation, it increased to RM30 at least per day, right? RM10. That is not including your Starbucks, yeah? Okay. So that's how important it is. So we receive a lot of news saying that the price of chicken went up. And then a lot of people saying that, the chicken feed price went up. That's why the price of chicken went up. So we investigated the matter and we found that it's a cartel. Among feed millers, the producers of chicken feed. You see, we are so good in Malaysia, we are so good in producing chickens. We even supply majority of chickens to Singapore. You know, Singapore, they don't have place, right? They don't have land to rear their own chicken. Yeah, so we export our chicken to them. So anyhow, we found 5 players. Okay, this is how they did it. Through WhatsApp communication, through meetings, through calls, and others. Okay, they agreed to fix the quantum of increase of the chicken feed. Okay, let's say there are 5 players, right? Let's say one player, they said, okay, our chicken feed costs RM50 per bag. The B, let's say 55, C 60, D 65, E 70. But when we understood that the main ingredient of chicken feed, soya bean and maize have gone up. All over the world, it has gone up. Okay, we understand that. Okay, but their formula is different. You see, for A, let's say their chicken feed consists of 50%, let's say soya bean, 20% maize. But for the B, C, D, and E, the percentage is different. You see, so their costs are different. But when they raise their price, they raise it together at the same quantum. So everybody, let's say, raise 3 ringgit. So the A will go to 53, the B will go to 58, the C will go to 63, the D will go to 68, and what do you call that? The E will go to 73. So everybody raised by 3 ringgit. Why? Because there is a cartel. They agreed with each other to raise, to increase at the same rate. But their prices are different.
Yeah.
But they raise at the same rate. That is the thing that we must understand. There are other types of cartel who raise the price at the same price. They say before this their prices ranging from 50 to 55. But because of a cartel, they set the price at 60 altogether. But this one is a bit different. They increase at the same rate. So we caught them.
Oh, that is so important, because before, when we were just chatting, we say all the price of everything increase in Malaysia, and it affects all our lives, because we eat a lot of chicken. The makcik curry pup have to sell the curry pup more expensive, because the chicken now also
there's a curry pup oxygen, you know. The curry pup without the inti.
Yeah, so it affects this chicken feed. Even though it's just the feed, it affects all our lives, because chicken, as we know, is very important here in Malaysian food. So what happened in the end? So
when after the completion of the investigation, we issued proposed decision, and then we heard them through their representation. And then when we heard their representation, we decided that we can't accept their defense or representation, because we think that it doesn't hold any merit. So we found them guilty of infringing the law, Section 4 under Competition Act 2010. So we fine them, penalize them. We look at their turnover. Okay. The thing is, when we penalize cartel or monopoly, we look at the relevant product. Okay, let's say they sell 3 things. Okay, let's say shoe, socks, and kiwi. Okay, to make it shine. Okay, but if they are involved, their cartel only involve the shoes, then we penalize them in accordance to the revenue of their shoes only. We don't penalize for the 3, although they sell 3 things. So for this, we only penalize them for the chicken feed. Okay, from 2020 to 2022. Yeah, so the financial penalty amounts to all 5 of them, against all 5 of them, 415 million only, approximately. So the first company is FFM Berhad. They are fined at around approximately 42.6 million. Gold Coin, Sdn Berhad, they are fined at the amount of 97.5 million. Leong Hub Feed Mill, Sdn Berhad, they are fined at the amount of 157.4 million. PK Agro, they are fined at the amount of 47.8 million. Dindings, what do you call that? The full name is Dinding Poultry Development Center, Sdn Berhad. They are fined at the amount of 70 million. So if you add up together, it will equal to 415 million only.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of fines.
Putting everything aside, when we penalize the enterprises, we follow our guidelines. We have our guidelines on how to penalize. So we follow the guidelines and the law itself. You see? So I think this is a fair amount in accordance with the law. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. I think that is the most important thing today we need to announce in today's podcast. And yeah, I think we learned so much things today. We learned so many things. We learned what is MyCC. We learned, you know, how it applies to the Makcik Karipap.
And Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka also, and the chocolate cartel. And then you know, we learned about the 2010 Competition Act. And of course now all these cases. Thank you for sharing it. And it is very important from what I see is we talk about the rise of costs in Malaysia. So like just now you said they were fined from 2020 to now. 2020 was
2020 to 2022.
Yeah, it was the pandemic, and the advantage. That's why everything you said the price of food and things like that go up. So thank you so much for doing the work, and I know it does help Malaysians to keep our cost of living low, and keep like businesses like me help us to, all the small Makcik Karipaps to flourish in business. So last question before we go is like, you know, without giving too much, I know there's a lot of cases coming up. So what can we see from MyCC in the near future?
Okay, continuous enforcement against cartel. We received a mandate from the government to pursue enforcement action against cartels. And then we want to carry out a market review on digital economy. Yeah, it's very important. Digital economy is the thing now. But we don't know anything, most of the thing of digital economy. We pretend to know, some of us, but we don't know. So we want to carry out the market review, and then the third one, we want to amend our law. We want to amend our law to include the merger control regime. So we want to introduce new power. Remember the three stools I told you? So in Malaysia, unfortunately, we only have two stools, but one more is coming. I think we are ready. It's not easy, you know, to enforce merger control regime. We need a lot of people. Thank God the government listened to us. They gave us extra budget to expand MyCC. So expansion of MyCC is another goal that we are pursuing.
Good to hear that, and I hope when the third one comes in, there's a lot of progress and a lot of things that you can do.
We'll try our best.
So thank you so much for sharing with us. I think before we go, I just want to encourage, so today's podcast is in collaboration with the MyCC, the Competition Commission. And don't follow them on LinkedIn. Follow Iskandar Ismail on LinkedIn, of course. I'll tag him in the post, and also on YouTube. And follow MyCC as well on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and all of the other platforms, and also their website as well. Thank you so much, and thank you also Iskandar for sharing today.
Thank you so much, Bob.